Now we are going to discuss about the physical world. Physics is one of the branch of science. Science has many branches. First we should know what is science first. Science, the origin terms to understand the science were in Sanskrit. And some of the abroad words, the foreign words also represent the science. In Sanskrit, the science is said to be Vijnana. The meaning is to know. The people which they don't know, they have a curiosity to know that. Maybe immediately or maybe after some time. Some results means some wise points will be delivered after doing some experiments. The concept of science really changed the face of the human's life. If you see the history, in the days, ancient days, maybe in the 1600s, 1500s, at those times the child death rate was more. So more. Most of the people thought that it may be a curse from a god or goddess. That's why the people, the children which were born to the mothers, they are dying at the little ages. They are dying with many unknown reasons. So maybe a polio, maybe TB, maybe some other facts which are the reasons for the death of the children. As the concept of Vijnana, or nothing but the science, was developed in the human's mind, they find to know the vaccines, medicines, and the steps to cure those type of diseases which are caused to death. Then ultimately the death rate was decreased and the population, most of the population are living happily. Still, the inventions of this science should reach the village people and rural people which they don't know who are the education. So, physics was one of the branch of science. Science means the knowledge gained by humans by observations and experiment in a systematic way. And experiments in a systematic way. Is called science. The systematic way or systematic method is also called scientific method. Scientific method means the precautions and the assumptions made in one experiment should be accepted universally. Let me give one example for the scientific method. Suppose cubit, foot. These were the two units which are used to measure the length of a body. But after the usage of some period of time, these two units were removed from the scientific method. What is the reason? The cubit and foot is differ from human being to human being. So the value was not standard at all. So if you go to the African countries, their foot size was more when compared to the remaining part of the world. If you go to any other continent, mostly in cubits and foot, there is a relatively comparison, or the decrease in the size or increase in the size is possible. So what we can say is scientific method means once you took any reference, that reference should be universally accepted. The universally accepted method was called scientific method. Means if a human being or human beings did some scientific methods of experiments in a regular way or in a systematic way to find something via observations and experiments is called knowledge, and this knowledge gained by humans is called science. This science has many branches, I told. So if science deals with the non-living things, it is called physical science. The dealing of science with non-living things is called physical science. This physical science means physics, chemistry, geology, geological science, etc., etc. If the science deals with the living things like plants, animals, human beings, that is under the biology. It contains botany, zoology, and many more. So each concept has much scope. Scope means we can extend the same small concept to a higher level. And we can see the biology has some sub-branches like botany and zoology, which leads to a great field which is able to survive the humans like nothing but the medicine. So like that, we can divide the science. Now we will see the different statements arose by different scientists and famous persons about the science. One of the great person, Bruce Lindsay. He said that we can explore the science to any depth. That means science is a great method which can investigate, analyze the content to any depth. Means exploration of the science to the all corners is possible when it is done by a scientific or universally accepted method. That was the statement given by the Bruce Lindsay about the science. Another great scientist, especially a great scientist in the physics, so he is usually called as physicist, Niels Bohr. According to his saying, so science can explore to the any depth which can give the scope for the future also. Explore to any depth which can give scope and hope for the future. The second statement, which was explained by the Niels Bohr, was one of the greatest tasks and greatest sayings about the science, because in his statement he said that we can go to the any depth which can give the scope and hope for the future. Scope means, it is a very, very important. Scope means, suppose if an invention was made, if a formula was there, this formula will be utilized in many ways that should be useful to give the better status for the human life. So hope means, yes, in the previous days, as we discussed in the introduction of this chapter, in the ages of 1400s and 1500s, there was no medicines, no insulators or no insulins to decrease some diseases, especially for the children. So what is the hope? Science created a lot of hope, and which invented many medicines, and many diseases are decreased continuously. Of course, many diseases are arising newly, so we can expect or we can hope that the scientific methods can give the best medicines to restrict them. So these are the statements which were given about the science. The science did many inventions which really changed the face of the human life, which made the human life very easy, very comfort. and which was saved the time of the human beings. The general examples, the motorbike, train, buses, these are all based on the mechanics. The concept of mechanics was really implemented to the many body diagrams, and which made the journey of the human beings very easy. Aerodynamics, that was the concept which made the human beings journey was so easy. Nothing but the aerodynamics concept was implemented in the airplanes. So like this, many concepts really changed the phase of the human being's life. Now we will see some inventions and the basic theories behind it. So, what is physics? It is one of the branches of science which deals with the nature, or which studies the nature and the natural phenomena. It is a branch of science which deals or studies the nature and natural phenomena. This natural phenomenon and the study of the nature is based on a step-by-step process. So, scope of experiments. Basically, if any student, maybe our junior or our elders, if they are choosing any branch in their engineering or any course in the intermediate or degree level, we used to ask them, what is the scope of this group? In our view, scope means the future. So like that, what is the future of the experiments did in physics to invent something? Yes, it has a great scope beyond our thinking and beyond our common sense. Initially, human beings didn't expect it, they can fly in the air, but it was done through airplanes. Wright brothers invented. The concept behind this was aerodynamics. We never thought about to produce the electricity by using the invisible atoms and nuclei. Nothing but the nuclear technology, radiation, nothing but the nuclear power. Many scientists involved to get most of the best results from the nuclear power. This technology is based on nuclear technology. As we keep on going, what is the meaning of scope? Yes, scope means the science can read out the invisible things for the human eye. Suppose if you want to analyze the microorganisms, we can say that microorganism which has the micro size, when micro is equal to 10 to the power of minus 6. We can't even know that there is a size of objects or size of insects in our general language which has the size of micro. It is very difficult for our understanding to understand. When the Louis Pasteur discovered these all things, the world was really shook around. The shock gave a lot of wonders to the human beings. When they found the microorganisms, they found the anti-microorganisms also, anti-fungus, antibacterial elements, they find all. The distance between the sun to earth is also called astronomical unit. It was around some 10 to the power of 11 meters. See, the size of a microorganism was 10 power minus 6 in the meters, but the distance from sun to earth is in 10 power 11 meters plus 11. See how small to how big the science was extended the services. This is said to be scope of the experiment. once you started any experiment to do something or to prove something, it should have very least properties to the higher extensions. If it is useful only to measure the higher values, so what about the lower values? So that's why an experiment should provide the results in the both large scale industries as well as small scale industries also. If you see the many other Xerox machine, photoelectric effect, Einstein, previously when this Xerox machines was not introduced to the society, if you want to take any Xerox copy of any original one, the typist used to write the content and he used to fix the carbon paper with a gum and he used to rotate the printer on a white paper. So it is a manhandling. So the one who is operating that should operate continuously to get the knuckle or to get the duplicates of the original copies. But when the technology of Xerox or fax, these all are invented, this whole work was made easy. Now there are some advanced level machines which can give some 1500 more copies per minute. So such like that, we can say that these all inventions made the human's life very easy, very comfortable. So earlier days they used to walk to roam around some distance. Now they can roam to the longer distances, they can go to the other countries through the aeroplanes. Steam engine was one of the inventions which made the train engine to move faster, which was discovered by James Watt. Many inventions, AC, air conditioner, air cooler, AC current, DC current, current and magnetism and gravitation, these all concepts are the best concepts as the physics ever taught, because now we are utilizing this AC current in different ways. Many inventions made on the concept of AC current. So like this, the discovery of AC current by Mr. Michael Faraday, who really changed the world of daily life. At the same time, this was really changed the face of economics also, finance system also, because the discovery of AC current really introduced the concept of magnetism and it was adopted in many industries. Now we can observe that many industries are running by the supply of AC current, so which was made very easy to produce something in a greater way with a greater load. Like this, science had many scopes. In future also, we can expect much more inventions which can make the life easier and which can give the comfort and which can not be stolen by any third party with a great security. This is the concept which is based on the scope. Now we will see different inventions with their theories behind it. The contributions made by physics to the society. Contributions to society. First one, steam engine. Discovered by James Watt based on the concept of thermodynamics. His name was James Watt. That's why the power consumption SI unit was watt in SI system. Second one, optical fibers, which made the communication industry to a really different phase. Before the inventions of the optical fibers which are made up of glass materials, the communication system was with so loss, because the signal which was sent to the different cables which was hanged between the poles, they have 60% to some 40% to 60% of loss in the signal strength. So that's why there will be some distortion to connect to the distant paths. But when the optical fibers was introduced to the human's life, then the loss was reduced to 2% to 5%. These optical fibers wise are introduced in India at the time of 1970s. And the father of optical fibers in India was two great scientists. Those are the professors who worked in IIT Delhi in electrical and physics department. Those are Ghatak and Tyagarajan. These two scientists, these two professors are called as scientists, as well as the father of optical fibers, especially in India. So this optical fiber technology was introduced by the concept of total internal reflection. Third one, nuclear reactors. Based on the controlled nuclear fission reactions. The next one, Newton has discovered the force and the modulus of elasticity of the different bodies, which can give the strength to the elasticity. This modulus of elasticity was useful to lift the high weights by the use of crane. The crane had many windings. Each winding should have some area of cross section to bear a lot of weight. This concept was discovered by Newton under the observation of force. Electromagnetism. This was also one of the greatest topic in physics, which was really faced the society of the human life, because AC current was introduced in this chapter, as well as magnetism concept was also introduced. These two concepts really changed the nature of the human's life dramatically. It was based on the concept of Faraday's law of electromagnetism. So whenever this concept of Faraday's law of electromagnetism, the many inventions made by the help of Faraday's law of electromagnetism, electrical fan, iron box, tape recorders, CD players, these are all the applications of Faraday's law of electromagnetism, because the signal, the information which was read or the read in the CD was an electromagnetic wave. So like this, many other concepts which was delivered as the age grows on in physics, which was really faced the change of the human life. Many more inventions like STD, ISD, fax, telephones, mobile phones, TV, radio sets. This all we are using in our daily life. Okay, so it is one of the wonders of the science and wonders of the physics. We can know the each and every use of these all inventions. Now I am discussing about some great physicists. The father of physics was Mr. Isaac Newton. He was born in 1643 AD in UK and died in 1727. The thought of physics was arised in his mind at a certain age, which really changed the thinking about the science of the world. The best incident what he experienced is apple incident. When apple fell down on his head, he thought about a force which is really grabbing the objects towards it. This force he named it as gravitational force. This gravitational force concept was next, it was applied to the planets. Next, it is applied to the precession of equinoxes. Which defines about the rotation of Earth around the Sun. And the same concept led to the stability of solar system. The stability of the solar system and functioning of solar system was discovered and explained by Mr. Johannes Kepler, but initially he was inspired by the Newton's laws only. Like this, many inventions made by Mr. Isaac Newton, who really changed the thinking of science. And he is the one who discovered the calculus part in mathematics to prove his theories are right and equally acceptable worldwide. To prove the theories. The one of the greatest investigation did by him was free body dynamics. Means if you took a body, how many number of forces are acting on the body, what will be its diagram, and what is the resultant force, what is the resultant direction to move it. These all were visualized and concepted by Mr. Great Isaac Newton. So that's why the thinking was started in his era only in his mind. So that's why he is said to be father of physics. But he couldn't explain about the invisible things like atomic structure or nuclei, because the problem was at his time there was no experimental support, there is no machinery support to prove some invisible things with his works. So later, after his discoveries, he was a great member and honored by the Royal Society of London, which was equal to the Nobel Prize at those times. So after that, many other scientists came and they have proposed something, may be accepted or may not be accepted. After the Mr. Isaac Newton, one more great scientist who delivered many thoughts about the physics was Mr. Albert Einstein, who really changed the direction of physics into the different way, some imaginary way also. That's why he is also said to be some father of the modern physics era. So what is his modern thinking? So at his time, there was a lot of mechanical and machinery support to him, which was not there at the time of Isaac Newton. One of the great scientists in the next list is Albert Einstein. The concept of photoelectric effect, some new concepts like theory of relativity, energy mass equivalence theorem, these are all the main concepts which were delivered by Mr. Great Albert Einstein. The photoelectric effect, which really tends to an object called Xerox machines and fax machines, when a light signal was sent to any metallic plate, it is used to emit the charge carriers to the outside. This was the concept in the photoelectric effect. He made the corrections to the photoelectric effect to the classical theory of this. Next, theory of relativity. So one's left is another one's right. This is the basic theorem behind the theory of relativity. So this theory of relativity means, suppose if an object is moving with a velocity from left to right, the forces which are acting on this object are moving from right to left in the opposite direction with the same magnitude, which we are not measuring it to find the actual motion of the object. That means there are many invisible regions which opposes the motion of object in the space or in the true world. The mass energy equivalence was very great important discovery by the Albert Einstein. The same concept was used to manufacture the atom bomb, which was used to destroy the Japan at the time of Second World War. The theory behind the mass energy equivalence was, suppose if a body of mass 1 kg or 1 gram, let us say 1 gram, very less. 1 gram of a coal or 1 gram of any substance doesn't produce much energy, and that energy may not be utilized, may not be sufficient to utilize to do some work. But if this 1 gram of substance, which was moved with a velocity of square of the speed of light, the velocity of this 1 gram substance was square of the speed of light. Square of the speed of light means the speed of light is 3 into 10 to the power of 8 meters per second. Square of the speed of light is 3 into 10 to the power of 8 whole square. It is nothing but 9 into 10 to the power of 16. The mass energy equivalence equation was E is equal to mc square. So therefore, energy released by this 1 gram of mass is, where 1 gram we can write as 10 to the power of minus 3 kg, and c square was 9 into 10 to the power of 16 meters per second square, meters square per second square. Therefore, 9 into 10 to the power of 13 joules, which is enormous, abnormal, which cannot be borne by the human beings. But if the same 1 gram of coal which was burnt, it won't produce that much energy. May not be possible to boil some half liter of water also. Still it was thrown with the velocity of c square, then it is able to produce this much of energy. This concept was delivered by the Mr. Great Einstein, but this concept was utilized by many other scientists to manufacture the atom bomb, which was really destroyed the world at those times. So as his history says, after this explosion, the Albert Einstein realized that science is doing the harmness to the people also. Instead of doing the wellness, instead of doing the welfare to the society, it is doing the harm to, it is another poisonous side of the scientific methods. This was one of the statement given by great Albert Einstein according to his discoveries. These two scientists are really called as great scientists. So at his time, means the time of Albert Einstein, the machinery support and experimental support was there. So he has proved many things which was under the concept of physics, at the same time which are beyond our common sense. So these two are called to be great scientists of lifetime in the physics. So there are many awards based on their achievements. Mr. Albert Einstein got the Nobel Prize for the photoelectric effect and his discoveries. There was a rule in the Nobel Prize, the discovery should be useful to the human's welfare, otherwise that shouldn't be given Nobel Prize. So like that, his thinking was, concept was, atom bomb was discovered, but for not discovery he didn't receive the Nobel Prize, but he received the Nobel Prize for photoelectric effect. Now also we are utilizing this photoelectric effect in different ways. Now we are discussing the fundamental forces in nature. What is the meaning of these fundamental forces in nature? There are many forces, but among those only 4 forces are said to be fundamentals, because these forces are the basic and foundation level to the greatest heights of physics. First one is gravitational force. Second one is electrostatic force. Third one is weak nuclear force. The fourth one is nuclear force. These 4 forces are said to be basic forces or fundamental forces in nature. We will see the first one in detail, nothing but the gravitational force. where G is the universal gravitational constant. As we discussed in the lower classes, this gravitational force concept was so easy. The apple fall incident on the head of the Mr. Great Isaac Newton tends to the discovery of a great concept called gravitational force, means force due to the gravity or force which was released by the earth to attract the other objects. So there are two objects. Masses of these two bodies are m1 and m2. These two are separated by a distance small r. The distance between the masses is nothing but the distance between their centers. So what I am saying is, according to the Newton's law of statement, the gravitational force between two masses is directly proportional to the product of their masses and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. So we can write F as Fg because it is gravitational force. This Fg is proportional to m1 m2 by r square. If I removed the proportionality constant, this removing should be replaced with a term called capital G, where capital G is universal gravitational constant. Therefore it is G m1 m2 by r square. Based on the Cavendish experiment, G value is 6.67 into 10 to the power of minus 11 Newton meter square for kg square. So this G is equal to the gravitational force between two unit masses when they are separated by unit distance. This is said to be gravitational force statement. It was discovered by great Isaac Newton. The second force was electrostatic force. So what is this electrostatic force? The concept of this electrostatic force was almost influenced by the gravitational force. In the gravitational force, we have two masses separated by a distance small r. But in case of electrostatic force, we are taking two charges, may be same or may not be same in the magnitude of the charge. Let us say the charges are q1 and q2. And they are separated by a small distance small r. If you see the visualization, this arrangement was almost similar to the gravitational force. So here, the electrostatic force, we can say it as Fe, is directly proportional to product of the two charges, magnitudes of the two charges, inversely proportional to square of the distance between them. Fe is proportional to q1, q2. What is this q1, q2? Product of magnitudes of charge. Here, the difference between the electrostatic force as well as gravitational force is, in gravitational force, we are expecting only force of attraction. But in case of electrostatic force, we can expect force of attraction as well as force of repulsion also. What is the reason? If Q1 and Q2 both are positive, positive or negative, negative, according to the general statements, similar charges repel each other. Dissimilar charges attract each other. So if you place positive, positive or negative, negative, automatically it is force of repulsion. Any one positive or negative or any one negative and positive, it is force of attraction. So force of attraction or force of repulsion between two charges is directly proportional to the product of their magnitudes of the charges, inversely proportional to the square of the distance. Therefore, Fe is equal to K into Q1 Q2 by R square, where K is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, where epsilon naught is equal to permittivity of free space. Its value is 8.85 into 10 to the power of minus 12 So it is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. We are taking epsilon naught to this side. So it will be q1 q2 by fr square, that is what coulomb square per Newton meter square. Like this, we can expect the epsilon naught value. This comparison was over. The next two forces are weak nuclear force and nuclear force or strong nuclear force. The third one is weak nuclear force. It is the force which was released due to the interaction of the nuclear particles. The nuclear particles means the particles which are inside the nucleus, nothing but nucleons, protons and neutrons, which are revolving around the nucleus are electrons. So what we can understand in this concept is the particles which are released in this reaction are called weak particles, like lepton, baryon, like that, anti-lepton, anti-lepton, baryon, quark structures. These are all called as weak particles which are released due to the interaction in the nuclear particles. The nature of this weak nuclear force is strong. It is 10 to the power of 25 times greater than the gravitational force. Strong in nature. Sometimes it is repulsive in nature also. This weak nuclear force is not able to hold the nucleus very strong. This job can be done by nuclear force. In other words, it is also called strong nuclear force. So the strong nuclear force is the reason to give the stability to the nucleus. It is spin dependent, charge independent. This force is a short range force. Because nuclear force is also one of the similarities between like electrostatic, therefore this force is inversely proportional to the square of the distance from nucleus to the nuclear particle. As the distance increases, magnitude of the force will decrease continuously. Such like that, this force is short range force. So, among all fundamental forces, we can prove that nuclear force is the strongest. But when you compare the gravitational force and electrostatic force has the greater magnitude when compared to the gravitational force. We can prove the strong nature and weak nature of all these four forces with the help of mathematical expressions. This is the information about the fundamental forces in nature. Next we will discuss what is the relationship between the one force to the another forces in terms of mathematics as the power of tens. Now we are discussing the relationship between the gravitational force and electrostatic force. The gravitational force and electrostatic force. What is the relationship between them, Fe and Fg? Take two charges. Let us say this is proton, positively charged, this is electron, negatively charged. These two are separated by a distance small r in air. Whenever these two charges separated by a finite distance and simply suspended in air, they should experience two forces. One is gravitational force second one is electrostatic force between them. or we can say this one as electrostatic force of attraction. Now we should relate these two forces, how they are acting on these two charges. For that purpose, let us take mass of proton MP is equal to 1.67 into 10 to the power of minus 27 kg, as well as mass of electron is 9.1 into 10 to the power of minus 31 kg. The distance between them, let us suppose r is equal to 1 meter. The information which is related to the gravitational force was derived. Now we should go to the electrostatic force of attraction. Q1 and Q2 are nothing but the charge or magnitude of the charges of two charges. Whether it is a positive charge or negative charge, its magnitude is 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 19 coulomb. So now we are finding Fe by Fg, nothing but electrostatic force by gravitational force. The electrostatic force equation is K into Q1 Q2 by R square whole divided by gravitational force equation is G into MP ME by R square, where MP and ME are mass of proton and mass of electron. So we will get the equation like this: K Q1 Q2 by G M1 M2, because this R square and R square gets cancelled. Now the K value is 9 into 10 to the power of 9. Q1 and Q2 is 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 19 into 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 19 whole divided by G value is 6.67 into 10 to the power of minus 11 into mass of proton into mass of electron, where mass of proton is 1.67 and 10 to the power of minus 27 kg, and mass of electron is 9.1 into 10 to the power of minus 31 kg. We have all 10 powers and some integers also which are multiplying those 10 powers. If you see this, 10 power 9 minus 19 is minus 38. 10 power 9 into 10 to the power of minus 38 is 10 power minus 29. Therefore, it is 9 into 16 into 16 is 256. Therefore, 1.6 into 1.6 it is 2.56 into 10 to the power of minus 29 whole divided by 6.67 into 1.67 into 9.1 into 10 to the power of minus 31 minus 27 minus 58 minus 11 minus 69, and this minus 69 was going to top and it becoming plus 69. So we will get some value, this one into 10 to the power of 40. So we will get Fe by Fg is equal to approximately equal to 2 into 10 to the power of 39. So from this equation we can write that Fe is 2 into 10 to the power of 39 times of Fg. So electrostatic force is 2 into 10 to the power of 39 times of the gravitational force. So we can say that electrostatic force is stronger than the gravitational force. Such like that, we will see the comparison of strong and weak nuclear forces also. So the next comparison is weak nuclear force and strong nuclear force. Weak nuclear force, it is 10 to the power of 25 times greater than gravitational force. It explains the reactions or interactions between leptons, baryons and mesons. It explains the interactions between weak particles. What are those weak particles? Leptons, baryons, mesons, and many more, etc. quark structures also. And this is the force, or this is the one of the force which explains the beta decay, and which is the reason for the beta decay. Beta decay splitting. This beta decay splitting has two types, beta minus decay, comma, beta plus decay. Where in beta minus decay it emits the electron, with beta plus decay it emits the proton. Such like that many reactions are there, where Zxa is equal to Z minus 1 Ya plus 1 E1, like that. There are so many equations like this. Zxa splits into Z minus 1 Ya plus 1 P0. This is one reaction where it emits the plus 1. So, the beta minus decay. Such like that, some Zxa gives rise to minus 1 E0. So, therefore, it is Z plus 1 Ya. Here it emits the electron, nothing but the beta plus decay, because emitting the electron creates the positiveness. Emitting the positiveness creates the negativeness. That's why these two are the reactions which are examples for the beta minus and beta plus. Whether in the strong nuclear force, it is different. In strong nuclear force, it is 100 times greater than electromagnetic force. So, what is electromagnetic force? This was the very important one, and laterly it was also introduced as one of the force in the list of fundamental forces. Previously, the four what we have been discussing are the strongest and fundamental forces. As the science developed, the thinking of the electromagnetic waves nature, where the James Maxwell introduced this concept, this electromagnetic force was also introduced or immersed in the list of fundamental forces. This is the force which can be generated by the accelerated charged particles. Means the charged particles which are accelerating in any circular path or any path which with a uniform speed by maintaining the time dependent, those charges will produce a force. This force is called electromagnetic force. And this electromagnetic force which can show some response for the electric field as well as magnetic fields. Accelerated charged particles. To accelerate the charged particles, we have cyclotron, betatron, like that many devices, Van de Graaff generator. These are all in the second year syllabus. So, the introduction is here. So, to accelerate the charged particles, the many devices are there which are from the low potential to high potential, as well as these electromagnetic forces are the reason to immerse the information in a form of electromagnetic waves, nothing but the optical fiber technology. Best example, CD writing, DVD writing. Now the new concept was delivered, that is a Blu-ray disc, which has the largest information which doesn't be erased for a long time. So these are the best uses of the electromagnetic forces. These electromagnetic forces are very much useful to amplify the signals, like if you have a mouthpiece in front of your mouth, if you said some hello, that sound will be amplified to some watts. This is also one of the example for the electromagnetic force. This electromagnetic force, the example for the another electromagnetic force is light is one of the electromagnetic wave which contains electromagnetic force which scatters to the perpendicular direction of the propagation of medium. Its velocity is similar to 3 into 10 to the power of 8 meters per second. So such like that we can see the number of uses and definitions of electromagnetic forces.